All right, enough stalling. Enough stall-in. Communism. Tim Pool, Timothy Daniel Pool. So I don't think I've done a Tim Pool video. We haven't talked about Tim Pool too much. Ever since that one time we went over his like history in that big Daily Beast article about how his ex-coworkers called him an absolute loser, how he constantly lied about the things that he was into, and then he turned his failure into from being a real journalist into talking about work that other journalists real journalists actually made, and then misconstruing it for a right-wing audience while making boku bucks off of it. Obviously, this is Timothy Daniel Pool.
This meme is very
And so
real.
with that being said, Tim Pool has amassed quite a fortune. Not only has he built himself a massive compound. Remember watching TV and those like sweepstakes that were on like fucking Danimals? Imagine like winning that and winning like the millions of dollars, and then you buy what you would buy as like a little kid. And that's basically what Tim Pool's compound looks like, right? It's like a skate park, and it's a little goofy. It's just, he's a 30-year-old man, but you know, he's got money. All right. He's got the cash. He's got the cash, you know, what can I say? Dim Tool recently did another rant about how he hates the liberal, leftist, communist, cringe media. And how they're lying and how they're trying to take down real journalism, and how the state is colluding with the media organizations to take down other media organizations, and they will kill you. And he's just been losing his mind for a little while. I must tell you, like recently he made this tweet: if sex work is work, then can a boss require a woman to suck his dick as a job requirement? So just asking the real questions, asking the real hard-hitting questions there, Tim. Truly one of today's greatest minds, pondering what nobody else will ponder. He what? Yeah. Why the women? Yeah, it's just like, why specifically women? Sex work is work. Suck my pee-pee. No, Tim. You can't do that. It's pretty wrong to do that, actually. I must say. With that out of the way, now that we're on the level, that was a little like appetizer, okay? All right. I want to just warm you up to what we're getting into when it comes to Tim Pool, because the rest is worse. What do you want, pup? Wait a second. Apparently Boo doesn't want us to watch Tim Pool. It's Boo time. Come here. Come on, then. You're bothering me. Go ahead. Hey. There you go. Is that what you needed? There you go, big head. There you go. You got what you wanted? Thank you. You covered me in dog hair. I hope you're happy. You little shit. Why are you in my lap? All right, we'll continue with him in my lap. He did a rant. He was very upset with the happenings that are going on today. And Tim Pool, he's coming back.
Quote, the FBI leaked attorney-client privileged communications from those devices to the New York Times. So this is a major story that's just developing right now that a lot of people have been telling me here in the comment section. But this seems very big, and just yet another sign of just how politically biased and insane our current social political climate is right now.
So just so you know, what's happening is that people are telling him about a story that's happening in his comment section. So now they're going to do a story on it about something that they were told about in their YouTube comment section, without really looking into it at all. This is the level of Tim Poolerino, okay? Yeah, we have to talk about the shirt. 1984 is not an instruction manual. So this man has never read 1984. This man has no clue what goes on in 1984. If he did, he wouldn't be wearing this shirt. I want to ask one of these people sometime, what happened Joaquin Orenbachel's 1573? I really want to figure out what they know, because I know for a fact none of them have ever watched that shit.
Because, I mean, if these allegations that we're seeing...
These people are
true,
evil.
I'm asking myself, who...
Adam Goldman of the New York Times. Evil.
Oh my gosh, they're not even bad journalists. They are evil. Demon spawn.
We've got to stop playing these games. This is a guy who got privileged legal communications under the United States Constitution and our laws and norms. You have a right to legal counsel. And the guy at the New York Times gleefully published this from a rival organization. Why? They want this country to burn.
Okay. There's a couple of things that we need to touch on, all right, before we get too far. So what's he referring to? So basically what happened, if you didn't know, Project Veritas broadly and James O'Keefe specifically are in legal proceedings at the moment. They're being taken to court. What happened is that Joe Biden's eldest daughter experienced a break-in. Someone broke into her house and stole a couple of things. All right. One of the things that was stolen was a diary. And this diary was like bouncing around from different right-wing news organizations. Most people didn't give a shit because it didn't mean anything, and it still basically doesn't. But a lot of right-wing hit piece sensationalist sites cover it, like Tim Pool. And yes, I'll keep calling him right-wing. He plays into every single trope that the right wing does and toes their line on near every issue when it matters. Okay, so yes, I'll be calling him right wing. So with that being said, James O'Keefe and Project Veritas came into contact with what James O'Keefe called tipsters, who tipped him off about the diary, and they were able to get the diary physically, okay, and they gave it to legal officials. They don't say exactly who they gave it to, but they said they gave it to legal officials to be returned to Biden's daughter. They say they didn't post what happened, post what they read, because they couldn't verify where the diary came from. Now, federal prosecutors are looking into Project Veritas to see what they knew and how they got their hands on this stolen material. Because it is pretty big to be in contact with stolen material from the president's daughter, or at least a very serious presidential candidate's daughter, and the ex-vice president's daughter. That's a really big thing. And so with that being said, they really want to know what happened. And so recently an FBI raid came onto James O'Keefe's home, and other Project Veritas personal communications were seized. And when they were seized, sometime after they were seized, and sometime between that and the communications between James O'Keefe, his lawyer, and the prosecutors, those communications got leaked somewhere along the line. So they got leaked to the New York Times, and the New York Times posted it. They made a story out of it. Do I have the story on me? Let me see. Project Veritas tells judge it was assured that the Biden diary was legally obtained. Oh, we got it legally. We got the stolen diary very legally, I guess, very legally. And Project Veritas and the line between journalism and political spying. And they made this article. This is the Goldman. This is the Adam Goldman, who is apparently evil. He's an evil demon. In initial documents obtained by the New York Times revealed to the extent in which the group had worked with its lawyers to gauge how far its deceptive reporting practices can go before running afoul of federal laws. The documents, a series of memos written by the group's lawyer, details the ways Project Veritas' sting operations, which typically diverge from standard journalistic practices by employing people who wear masks, who mask their real identities or create fake ones to infiltrate target organizations to avoid breaking federal statutes and such the law against lying to government officials. This is what got leaked to the New York Times. And so the New York Times made a story out of it. Obviously, why wouldn't they? Tough out here, mate? Yeah, 100%. And apparently this is what Tim Pool is talking about when he says that they want the country to burn. I'm horrible at reading aloud. Dude, yeah, listen, a lot of you little shits in chat are like, oh, look at Shark. Haha, he reads words wrong sometimes. Fuck you. I'd love to see you guys hop into a call and you read 15 paragraphs. All right, during a 7-hour stream, and I want to see you not mess up. I want to see you do it. Go ahead. I want you to read these articles, and I want to see how well you do. Not only that, I need you to commentate on them as well. Go ahead. I'd love to see how well you do. Heck, you guys. This doesn't break their right to a legal counsel. If you know what right to a legal counsel is, it's you have a right to have a lawyer when you're being sued. That's what right to a legal counsel is. The New York Times is not stopping Project Veritas from having legal counsel. That doesn't make any sense. That being said, also, he doesn't know exactly who leaked it. They're saying the FBI leaked it. They have no clue if it's the FBI who leaked it. They're saying that this is like the Biden administration trying to take down Project Veritas, even though this specific investigation has been going on since October of 2020, started by the last administration, the Trump administration. If you want to blame someone, you can blame the Trumps and the Trump administration for going into this. It's not Biden's fault. All right. And he's not controlling he's not pulling the strings of the FBI. And you don't know if it was the FBI who leaked it. They would like to say it was the FBI who leaked it because it would be good for them politically. It could be the prosecutors who leaked it. It could be someone in the prosecutor's office who leaked it. It could be someone in the lawyer's council who leaked it. There's so many people who come into contact with this information that pass it from or it could be someone that Project Veritas is in contact with who leaked it. You have no clue who in that string leaked it, but he wants to say it's the prosecutors, and he wants to say it's the it's the FBI, because that goes for a story.
They want power, and they will get it by any means necessary, and they will use the power of the federal government to do it. I am looking at all of you right now, and I am telling you this. The police will kick your door in and bash your teeth out the moment Black Lives Matter protests you.
Wait. Yeah, the imposter leaked it. There's an imposter among us. Just so you know, this is the same exact thing that Nick Fuentes did when he was like, if Joe Biden is made president, black people will come to my door and they will kill me. Black people will kill me, and the police won't do anything about it because black people will rule this country. They'll be given complete criminal clemency, and they will murder all the white people, especially me. He's doing that exact same thing. It's stupid. Yeah, it is tinfoil hattie, because it's just tinfoil beanie, my bad. His tinfoil lined beanie. What does this have to do with BLM? Genuinely curious. Nothing about this has to do with BLM. Where's this coming from? Nobody even mentioned BLM. I would love to know how, or like the FBI and like the DOJ are completely controlled by BLM. What do you think, like the CEO of BLM calls up the FBI director and they're like, Tim Pool, he has gone too far. We have to stop him, put him down. And he's like, yes, ma'am. You heard the lady. And then they get into their SWAT car and they're getting ready to beat the shit out of Tim Pool.
We've already seen it happen. You think this is a joke? James O'Keefe's legal privileged communications were just given to the New York Times, and Adam Goldman, with a smile on his face, published it. He doesn't care about this country. He doesn't care about our norms. These people are at war with you, and they will burn your life to the ground like they're doing to Rittenhouse and like they're doing now to James O'Keefe, because you dare oppose their power grab.
I'm just being left as what, you know? Our norms. I'm pretty sure there have been news organizations that have posted confidential work before. You can do that a lot of the time. Now, I'm not sure specifically on like legal counsel between like client and the lawyer. Why is he so mad? He's so mad because when bad things happen to the people he's politically close to, he always says that it's they never do anything wrong, okay? They didn't do nothing. They never do anything wrong. Nothing is ever their fault. And anytime they ever get into any hot water, it's mainly because BLM wants to destroy them. Antifa's trying to take them down. The liberal media hates them. The DOJ is cucked and everybody wants to destroy them because they're the truth sayers. And nothing that they ever do is wrong. They're never, nothing that they ever do is bad. And it's all everyone else's fault. And when I get in trouble, it's never mine. That's why he's mad. Or at the very least, because I'm not sure if he actually believes it, at the very least, that's what he's selling to the audience. He wants to make them victims. He wants to make it seem like they're on the back foot and they're being destroyed. And the left and Biden are coming for conservatives, and now conservatives are going to be made illegal, and all Trump supporters are going to be put in Dallas Birkenau, okay, and forced to make like bad dragon dildos in their like slave camps until they die. And that's basically what they think, unironically believe is going to happen. And so that's what he's selling to his audience. He's been doing this for a long time. He just changed it a little bit. It's the same sort of like Civil War fear mongering because it makes a lot of money. It gets a lot of people engaged. It gets a lot of like right wingers angry. And I mean, we already saw how this played out. The people who do a lot of like Civil War drumming, guess the type of people who watch this sort of shit. The nearest example that I can remember are the guys who were arrested for trying to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan. That like crazy right-wing anti-government, anti-COVID lockdown group who watched a lot of who they found when they looked through their YouTube, they watched a lot of Steven Crowder, Ben Shapiro, and Tim Pool. And a lot of those guys do a lot of like Civil War drumming, fear mongering about things that are going on, saying that the country is being destroyed. And guess what? They take it to heart. They take it to heart. Even though Tim doesn't believe it, and Crowder may not believe it, and Shapiro may not believe it, the people who watch this, they believe it. They think it's real, and so they just act on it. How are you going to right? If you believe that this is real, if you think you're really literally in war right now, why don't you act? If you love the country, why don't you act, right? And what does that acting look like? Well, to those guys, it looked like kidnapping the governor and killing her. There's a little food for that.
This is not a joke, and it is getting worse. And in the next 10 years, as we enter the fourth turning and it escalates, it is...
Excuse me? Wait, the fourth turning? What the fuck is that? What is this conspiracy shit? The fourth turning, an American prophecy, what the cycles of history tell us about America's next endeavors with destiny. Oh, destiny. Oh, Destiny's gonna be a part of this. It's a prophecy? What the fuck? Strauss-Howe generational theory. As we enter the... Dude, this is some like Illuminati shit, genuinely. He ultimately described a reoccurring pattern in Anglo-American history of 4 generation types, each with a distinctive collective persona. Bro, what the fuck? Is this astrology for history nerds? And its corresponding cycle of 4 different types of eras? Wait, what happens in the 4th turning? Yes, it is. I've seen it been talked about. Oh my gosh, this is fascist shit. It is fascist shit. This is like Day of the Rope type shit. Wait, is Gen Z, are we the 4th turning? Or is Gen G's kids the 4th turning? Silent generation, Gen X, millennials. Wait, the 4th one, Gen Z. Wait a second. It's us. Are we the 4th turning? Is it us? We may breathe the end of days. Yeah, strong men make good times make weak men make hard times. That shit over and over again, just pretending like it's real. The high, the awakened, the unraveling, and the crisis. Oh, I see. Wait, he's unironically doing the strong men make good times, weak men make hard times. He's literally doing it. This is literally it. The high, the awakening, the unraveling, and the crisis. We, in the next generations, we will enter the crisis. If you want to read a little bit more about it, no, I don't. The crisis. Wait, according to the authors, the 4th turning is a crisis, this era of destruction, often involving war or revolution, in which institutional life is destroyed and rebuilt in a response to perceived threat of the nation's survival. After the crisis, and civil authority revives, cultural expression redirects towards community purpose, and people begin to locate themselves as a member of a larger group. Wait, archetypes: the prophet, the prophet, the nomad, the hero, the artist. Choose your class. All right, guys, choose your incel conspiracy class, okay? Choose your right-wing incel conspiracy class. You got a couple choices, okay? The prophet, the nomad, the hero, and the artist. Which one you picking? Is it D&D right now? Hell yeah, brother. I'm always the healer. I feel like that'd be, that's the artist. Nomad, so I can move away from this shit. Oh, no. The nomad, unraveling as young adults. Artist, high. Hey! High when they become young adults. High. Hey, listen, if you become an artist, you get to be high. Congratulations. I guess that's their class perk. That's nice. This shit is insane. Free weed? Is this communism? Yes. We're reaching the 4th turning, okay? The clock is ticking. Time has come. This is some 2012 world's going to end, Mayan calendar is done type shit that he's spewing right now. And it is hilarious, but they are crazy.
It's going to get worse. James O'Keefe is a journalist. The federal government stole his privileged legal communications and gave it to the New York Times, who published it with a smile on their faces.
Okay, for one, still, he doesn't know who leaked it. He does not know who specifically leaked it and what that means that they're in like the federal government. Because what he's saying is that like the FBI higher ups were like, guys, it's time to take down James O'Keefe. It's time to use our secret weapon, the New York Times. They will write an article that no one will fucking read, and then we will destroy them. Like, okay.
These people do not hold your values. They do not believe in the Constitution. The prosecutor in the Rittenhouse case violated the Constitution. They will do it again. They will do it more, and they will burn down your town, and the feds will protect them. And
okay, he's going insane. I'm not gonna disagree with you. I play as a tank. Yeah, I think that's the hero class. I'm pretty sure they're the tank. Wait, okay. I'm just shocked. This is really funny. What's he referring to with like the Rittenhouse prosecutor broke the Constitution? Disregarded. What's he even talking about? Do you guys even know? I'm so confused. That means that you're smart. I'm hoping my town gets burned down. The architecture can use some remodeling. Yeah, there are a lot of cities across America who need a little revamp, need a little facelift. No idea. He's going for the Alex Jones approach. Yeah, after Alex Jones got like clippity clapped in federal court, he needs to take up the mantle as the new conspiracy monger.
And the police will protect them. Stop thinking the institutions are on your side.
Yeah, you guys know how like BLM is incredibly famous for being treated well by the police. All through 2020, all that I can think of is, man, the police are really on BLM's side. Oh my goodness, guys. Antifa, BLM, they basically have the police in their pocket. They're running the place. Famously treated well by the police and federal prosecutors.
This country is being corrupted, and we are watching it every day. And it has gotten to the point where you need to ask yourself, Will the police protect you when someone comes to your town and threatens to kill you? No. The detectives in Kenosha, the prosecutor went against the young man who was fleeing for his life.
For one, Kyle put himself in that situation, okay? I think running out into the middle of a riot with a long gun is a pretty stupid fucking thing to do. And honestly, I think maybe in some states, even that action in and of itself would classify you as not being able to use self-defense when you do shit like that. I would say so. In Wisconsin, he's probably going to get off. In other states, I'm not sure if he'd be that lucky. Now, with that being said, don't you think that having court cases is good? You can disagree. You can think that you don't need a court case, but I'm sorry. There were people killed in this situation. The families of the people who were killed deserve to have their day in court. And if Kyle Rittenhouse wants to move past this, he'll need a court case that will like exonerate him. This is how our institutions work. Yeah, Tim's just fucking lying and fear mongering here. Sorry, bud.
And James O'Keefe, an anti-establishment individual, and I mean that with respect, but he is outright just a journalist, is facing the boot of the authoritarian fascist government.
You don't know what that word means. You don't know what that fascist word means, Chief. You absolutely don't. You have no clue what that word means. Please stop using it. I promise you that if I asked him a question, what does fascist mean? He'll have no response that is anywhere near what the federal government is. Fascism is when the government do things I don't like. All right. And the more I don't like it, the more fascist it is. And when I really don't like it, that's communism.
And it will get worse, and it will happen to you because you keep complying and you keep saying, but my kids need food. And now inflation is here and there's food shortages and your kids aren't eating. And
are people not eating because of inflation? Is that true? I'm pretty sure people just have to spend. Yeah, is he okay? He's literally having a breakdown right now. I'm honestly, at this point, I'm starting to feel bad. I feel like I may be like filming like someone like an episode. What do you guys think he's hiding under that hat? It's obviously, I mean, we've already seen it. It's another mouth. It's just like like a massive gaping maw that he throws glizzies into now and again to keep himself charged. The rage. I've never seen him like that. It's called a performance, Sweaty. He's trying to get more money.
And the schools are indoctrinating your kids. Now we see a turnaround with Youngkin.
Black people are going to come to your home and they will kill you, and the feds will do nothing about it. The left is indoctrinating your kids with telling you that gay people exist and they should not be hung. The federal government is telling you that you need to wear a mask at work. And the world is being destroyed. Gen Z is coming and they will be the fourth turning and they will lead to the destruction of the American empire. Ah! Listen, bro. Youngkin didn't get into office because the people in Virginia are scared that Biden sanctioned black ops, there you go, are going to like show up to their home and like combat roll through their door and just fucking beat them to death with golf clubs or something, okay? That's not why people voted for Youngkin. Actually, a lot of the reason why people voted for Youngkin didn't even have to do with CRT. And he also kind of barely won. But this isn't like a massive like turning point. It's just the Democrats doing what the Democrats do, being shitty.
Because the parents are standing up. But too many people keep saying, as long as I keep filleting the state and dropping on my knees for the far left extremists, I will squeak by, and you will not.
Fillet the state. Fillet the state, boys. All right, who's ready to fillet the state? Okay. Just absolutely giving that, like, just grapefruiting the state. Okay. Drop to your knees and take it like a good girl. The state. It rhymes, so it makes sense. That's true. Hashtag fillet the state. When I run for public office, that's what my call is going to be against my political opponent. My political opponent wants you to fillet the state. That's cringe. There we go. That's what we all need. He does need some therapy. Frito-Lay the state. Oh, geez. Far left and fascist. Jesus. Pick one. Yeah, he's flip-flopping between it's the far left and it's the socialist, but it's also the fascist. So there's fascism on one end and socialism on the other end, and they're like together and they're the same and doing the same things or something. Only 40% of the population voted in Virginia. Yeah, like not even that many people voted in Virginia. And two, the people who did vote didn't vote for Youngkin and Republicans because BLM or like critical race theory. They voted because the Democrats ran really terrible campaigns, especially on the top of the ticket. McAuliffe just was garbage, and he told parents that there's no reason for them to be involved in their kids' education, and education is one of the most important thing, like really top of the list when it comes to Virginia voters. He was just a shit candidate, and he lost. That's what happened, and it was an off year for Democrats, so it just compounded the issue. This isn't like some massive turning point for Virginia, and they're like, yes, I've awoken for the socialist, fascist, homo Marxists who are trying to destroy us with the fourth turning. That didn't happen. Anyways,
the police will come to your home. They will kick your door in, and they will arrest you because the good cops have already started quitting. And like we saw in Seattle.
What good cops? The good cops have already. No, dude. BLM said that they can't put people in chokeholds and step on their throats. And all the cops were like, man, that sucks. I need to get out of here. It's so sad.
The police arrested the man who was retreating from Antifa as Antifa approached him with clubs in hand. And they apologized to Antifa over it.
I couldn't find this story. I tried to. So I watched this earlier. I listened to all of this earlier, and I tried to find the story. I didn't find the story. I have no clue what the fuck he's talking about.
Antifa as
does this mean that Tim Pool just said ACAB? Yeah, dude. Yeah, all of the cops are gone, so it's just bad cops now. So he does believe in ACAB. That's incredible. If you guys can find this story, please let me know. I'm trying to find Brown and Taylor who? Yeah, don't worry about it, okay? I'm trying to find like this story, but I don't know what he's talking about. He said it was in Seattle, Washington. Well, I have this story. Fox News digitally alters images and coverage of Seattle protests. That's cute. Is it this one? Wait, let's see. Is this it? Seattle mayor demands that police union head apologize and resign after U.S. Capitol riot comments. Oh, is he real? I saw this, but I didn't think that he was this stupid to conflate this with Antifa and what's happening in Seattle. No way. Is he that fucking dumb? So basically what happened here is this, I can't speak today. Seattle police union head said that what happened at the Capitol was because of Antifa, and Antifa was dressed as Trump supporters, and then they broke into the Capitol to make Trump supporters look bad because Trump supporters never do anything wrong. And so the Seattle mayor said to apologize that you can't just fucking lie to people about shit like this. And is Tim Pool unironically confusing this with someone was running from Antifa with clubs and then the police arrested them and then apologized? All right, Dim Tool.
When several men unloaded hundreds of rounds into an SUV and then the extremists stripped the evidence from the vehicle and none of those people are brought to justice. And now we are at the point where Project Veritas is having their private privileged legal communications leaked to the...
Okay, wait 1 second. The second story he brings up here was interesting. So basically what happened is this was like a shooting that was happening during like Chaz, if you remember, like Chaz that was renamed to CHOP, the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone that was happening in, what was that? That was Seattle, right? So there was a shooting near Chaz where a van was like shot up and it was like bullet ridden. And I think a couple of people got hit. I think one was like a 14-year-old, if I remember correctly. There was like a kid or two kids and some people got hit in there. And police, when they got to the scene, saw that the like car had been rummaged through and they have taken something from it. They said it was very clearly it had been rummaged through. And so they tried to look for the people. But obviously a lot of the people who were in Chaz and around Chaz don't like to speak to the police. So it was hard for them to find information on exactly what happened. And so the people who did the shooting are still at large. This is not Antifa will kill you with impunity. This is just the police not being able to find someone who committed a crime like the police do all the time. Like most crimes go unsolved. If you didn't know this. Even lots of shootings go unsolved. We're not Batman, okay? Cops are not Batman. They don't get their special bat computer to analyze and then like turn back time in their little like quick time event game to figure out what happened, bud. All right. In real life, it's a lot harder to figure out what happened. So yeah, those people are still at large. They're still looking for them. It's not like they're like, oh, no, we can't find it. Who cares? Like that didn't happen, dumbass.
To the New York Times, who with a smile on their face violate all norms, all respect, and lack all scruples. And you think sitting back and complying will result in you getting by. You are wrong.
I just think it's really interesting that because Project Veritas's entire thing is lying, deceiving, and trying to get like information from people with deceptive means, and leading questions to get them to say things and then stitch them together to make a story. Apparently, when the New York Times gets information on their hands that was originally private and post it, that's cringe. But when Project Veritas goes undercover and lies to people, asks leading questions, and then gets information from them and publishes it, that's based. All right, Tim. Very interesting. Tim Pool, New York Times getting a parcel of confidential information from the government, BLM burning your house down or something, I don't know. The New York Times having someone that gives them private information and BLM burning your house down are basically the same things if you think about it.
I'm sick of this.
Preach.
We're in the majority.
No, exactly.
The Republicans agreed with Russiagate.
Yeah.
They did nothing.
Yeah.
And now I
What? The Republicans did not agree with Russiagate, and they did do a lot. They tried to stop it like several times. What are you talking about? The thing, this is so weird because I see people on the left and right say shit like this, like nothing came from like the Mueller investigation, which is just untrue. Like they found enough evidence to do something like indict Donald Trump. Didn't at the end like Mueller laid out like 7 crimes that Trump committed, but he couldn't do anything about it. You can't indict a sitting president. It's the FBI's norms not to indict a sitting president. And so they just didn't do anything with it. It was published, but I don't know, a bunch of like wine sipping suburban Dems thought that like fucking Fauci and like the ex like FBI director were going to kick down the door of the Oval Office and then like freaking fight Donald Trump in an epic battle, and then they get a really good chop on his on a nerve and he collapses and they are able to put him in handcuffs, and then they parade him around in front of the they hog tie him and parade him around in front of the White House because he's evil. Like there people like unironically thought that shit was going to happen. That wasn't going to happen. Did he commit crimes? Absolutely. You can look up the findings of the Mueller investigation. We all know what happened. It's public information. But like people want to keep pretending like that didn't happen. I don't know, it's weird.
I can't believe, I don't think people understand the severity of what we're witnessing right now with Project Veritas.
No.
Hearing this story breaking right now on this show is basically what you need to understand. We are in a neo-communist, fascist, we need a new word for it.
Yeah, we need a new word. What, Adolf Marxist, something like that. Just keep stringing the words together. People on the complete opposite ends of the political spectrum, and just try to mash it together and see if it works. Go ahead, bud. We need a new word. The communist fascists. We need to make a new word. The communist fascists have made giga communists. Fash commu BLMnist. You're right. That's it. I like it. Okay, this is making a lot of sense. Neo Adolf Marxist, postmodern, nationalist, fascist, communist. Just like throw the words around, bud. Let's just do it. I love how he uses political words as like Legos, and he's trying to build like something out of it. You're so smart, buddy. Keep it going.
State,
Technocratic.
authoritarian, whatever.
This is
He kept just throwing around fascists and communists, and then he finally settled on the word authoritarianism. I'm surprised more people don't get their political information from this guy. An absolute wordsmith. Fascist doesn't work. Communist doesn't work. State authoritarianism or whatever, that's it. He got them college words. See, if you watch the video that we made on that like Daily Beast article that was put out, he said that he dropped out of school because he was way smarter than his teachers. And I see why now. I see why he dropped out. I can see it. I understand where he's coming from now. Yeah.
technocracy, man. This is it.
Has had evidence of crimes committed in Kenosha. Nothing was done. The state prosecutor instructed the detectives
He sounds like he's going to fucking cry.
not to execute a search warrant on Gage Grosskreutz, who came with a concealed weapon illegally to a riot.
Okay, Grosskreutz came with a concealed weapon illegally to a riot. Rittenhouse came with a open carry rifle to a riot. Pretty wild, pretty wacky stuff, isn't it? And just so you know, Yeah, they dropped those charges. You know what else got dropped? The charges against the carrying charges for Rittenhouse got dropped. The carrying charges for gross skirts got dropped. All of these carry charges were dropped. It doesn't seem like favoritism. Like Rittenhouse is literally his carrying charges got dropped. What more do you want? Gonna cry, piss your pants maybe? He may piss his pants. Didn't Shabibo also say something like that? He didn't pay attention to any of the professors because he was way smarter. Yep, I honestly wouldn't doubt it. But he at least graduated college, so he did some amount of listening. Tim Pool absolutely did not. As opposed to non-state authoritarianism or whatever. Oh yeah, we do hate that non-state authoritarianism. Heck yeah, brother. He just needs a nap. Yeah, he needs some milky. He needs a nap.
And the state said, no, don't execute the warrant against him. They are burning the country to the ground. They're getting away with it. The FBI is not on the side of justice.
Right.
They are.
Judge is still working on figuring out Zoom. Is that true? Is the judge still working on figuring out Zoom? How did you guys like the calzones? Did everybody like the calzones?
They're on the side of targeting you, your friends. They will come for you given time. You think maybe you can hide among the masses, but eventually, when the turkeys are all lined up, not a single turkey gets by, all of their heads get removed.
What the fuck is this? Absolute wordsmith, king of analogy, Tim Pool. When all the turkey are on the line, there's no turkey that get off the line. They lose head. What say you, Republican man? Wrong, the president pardons one turkey. That is true. The president does pardon one of the turkeys, and they're able to go away scot-free. Good boy.
Project Veritas just happens to be one of the groups with a longer neck. James O'Keefe stands up and speaks out and goes after the power structure. And the New York Times is a vassal of the authoritarian state. They are a weapon wielded by the authoritarians who have taken over this country and are taking away our rights. And they are raiding the homes of journalists. This is, I just hope you all.
The really funny thing is that he's getting really close to a base take. It is really funny how he's just like gliding past a base take. He's like a comet, just like swerving around our solar system, all right past the sun. He's missed that long neck. Hey, yo, Project Veritas, what that neck do? What that neck do, girl? Like, he's swerving right past like a base take. A lot of the New York Times, a lot of media organizations can sometimes 100% be working on behalf of the state to keep the general order and to like help put down anti-government and anti-government sentiment and anti-government news. They like hide things, catching and killing. This happens. To say it's like a BLM who's going to do this to you is just like incredibly dumb.
All understand that this moment right now will go down in infamy. You will remember where you were when you learned the FBI began targeting American journalists.
Okay, 1 second. This is really funny coming out of someone who's apparently used to be a journalist or still considers himself a journalist or something. This is not the first time the federal government's come after journalists. I love how these people think they're so special. They want to be so special. They want to be treated so incredibly special. They want to be in history books. Tim Pool is doing this because he wants his speech to be in history books. He wants people when we're in the metro, okay, and like Antifa's like running amok and destroying everything, and we're hiding in the metro and they're reading about the days that are long gone. He wants his speeches to be read like, oh yes, Tim Pool made a YouTube video and this is he prophesized everything. You dumb bitch. This is not the first time the federal government has targeted journalists. They do it all the time. Like you can look back at even like the Obama administration, the Bush administration, like all the administrations during war times and sometimes out of war times. The federal government is constantly prosecuting journalists. Like Trump's administration prosecuted journalists. Trump's administration wanted to open up libel laws so he can prosecute more journalists. What the fuck are you talking about, dumbass? They want to feel Obama. They want to feel like they're on the cutting edge and they're right there and they're the freedom fighters, okay? And no one's ever seen anything like this. You dumb idiot. You buffoon. This is not new. You're not new, okay? The federal government has gone after journalists 24/7. This happens all the time. You are not special, little baby. Am I saying that it's a good thing? No, it's not. But you're not special.
Because in a year, in 2 years, when there no longer exists any free press, you will ask yourself, how is it that we've gotten to this point where we're hiding underground, where we're fleeing our homes, where we've decided...
I was memeing. holy shit, he does actually believe we're going to be retreating into the fucking metro. That was a joke, Tim. That was a meme. I'm memeing. I'm hyperbolizing you, man. You can't prove me like this. That was a joke. It was a haha funny. You can't undermine my jokes by actually believing it. Come on, man. Yeah, like yeah, POV, you played one Fallout game. Oh my goodness, dude. Yeah, Metro 2033 when? Soon. Holy crap. What a child. Wait, one second.
Longer exists any free press.
Okay, on this. Never exists any free press. Remember like loose lips sink ships and the government was going after like journalists who were like literally posting doing their job about things that were going on with the government in war, and they were criminalizing that. You remember that? You remember like McCarthyism? You remember that? Like people were being like thrown in jail for being suspected of being a communist. Bro, you will live in very tame times, okay? Extremely tame times. Journalists today are not treated that well, but in other countries and other time, like periods of time, being a journalist can be one of the most dangerous jobs that you can possibly have. And it is to that, and it gets there sometimes. Absolutely. And the federal government still actively is hunting journalists. But I'm sorry, bro, to think that this is anything new or special. This proves to me, actually, thinking that this is something new or special proves to me that Tim Pool was never a journalist. Every journalist that you talk to who's been in the business for long enough can tell you what it's like, can tell you that this is anything new. Like they've looked up to journalists who've like been killed for the work that they do, trying to alert the public to things that happen, who are sitting in jail today for giving information to the public. And this guy for being in connection to literally stolen materials from the family of the president of the United States. Now this is something nobody could have possibly imagined. I'm losing it, dude. This is incredible. It gets better, man. Every single time I watch Tim Pool, it just keeps getting better, man. Oh my goodness, I love it. This guy, quality content. All right, quality memes.